Welcome to Adventures in Glass with Doug. That's me. We're going to do a project today that's not really a big deal. It's not as grandiose as some of the fountains and bird baths that I've done, but I had a request from my daughter for some smaller pieces for her porch. She wanted to have some that were not blue. I've given her a number of different things that are in that cobalt blue, and she wanted things that were maybe pink or yellow or some other color other than blue. So I went through my inventory and I found a couple of color pieces I think will go together nicely. What I have is a base, a mosaic glass base that has elements of this burgundy color in it, and what I think I'll do is match the two of those up and use a saucer in between and a cordial glass that I have with a nice spiral etched into it for the topper. Okay, not a big deal, just something that can be on a tabletop, a little accent piece. As I've mentioned before, some of these end up in a thrift shop because they've been damaged. This one clearly has a good ding there and shattered a little of that glass. There was another ding there. I think these will be fine for our purposes, but if this is going on a nice tabletop inside, we'll probably want to put a couple of felt pieces on the bottom just to make sure that it's not going to scratch the surface. This piece had been part of a different garden sculpture that had to be repaired and reconfigured, so it has some silicone that is still on the edge that was glued, as well as at this end. So I'm gonna have to take a little time to clean that silicone off so that we can reconfigure it in this project. So let's take a little time now to just clean that up. Best thing to use is a razor. Carefully, I don't have my gloves. I probably should have one glove on at least. So that I'm not going to cause any injuries. Okay, let's clean that up. You've probably noticed that I'm quite a stickler for getting my glass as clean as possible. The clarity of the glass, to me, is something that is important because it's what really sets it off as a special piece and a sculpture element. They need to be clean, and especially if you're reusing a piece, it needs to have the silicone out of it. I'm sure you've heard me say on several occasions that's why I like the silicone. If I ever have to repair or reconfigure something, it's flexible enough. I mean, literally flexible, but I mean, it's flexible enough as an adhesive to be able to remove it and start over again. But so you want to make sure that you're getting those surfaces that you're going to be putting in contact with each other as clean as possible, so you don't have problems with them separating, but you also have only one opportunity on any of these that get sealed to make sure the inner spaces are clean. So, and I do hope this is in view for you. Okay, this piece is going to have the dish on it. Sits in there nicely. that needs to set, but I think we'll be okay putting this on top of that, as long as we don't move everything around. So this is going to be going on top. I'm going to have to get silicone on that rim. More piece. This is going to be pretty visible, so we do kind of want to make sure that we don't get too crazy with too much silicone. On occasion, I've gone ahead and put things like a marble on top that I've colored with my alcohol inks. In this case, I might just put a glass bead. I don't know if it should be red. You know, I think that red pops better. And there we have it. Let's see what I can design next. Welcome back. Yes, it was a day or morning of thrifting. I found 3 of my usual spots to go check out today and found some things that I think will work. So as I show you these, see if you can figure out what we might be working on next. I did find a number of blue pieces from this rather sturdy martini glass to some other vases, a nice stack of 6 blue glass plates. I like the shape of this particular vase, another small vase, so we've got some good stuff in the blues there. I recently finished this piece for my daughter. Isn't it funny? I've got another piece in the same color range. You could argue that maybe I could combine those, but I don't need to. I want that to stay tabletop. But this is a good sized vase. I think it's probably tinted, and I'm not sure. Bowls like this are always handy for building onto. Sorry, didn't get that in the camera. This I think will be an interesting topper on something. Gosh, I just did something with a big vase on the bird bath. Well, that's a good heavy sturdy base, so that can be something in the near future. I thought this was kind of cool, and gosh, they were only 89 cents, but it was senior day, so they were less. Square plates are something you really don't find that much of, but boy, when they can be really helpful when you've got some square elements. So I picked up 2 of those. A candle stand for a nice pillar. Got some things in the lavender range. You may recall that I did pick up this mosaic glass. Now I've got some options for what to add to that. Believe it or not, I found a square glass piece with a little extra bling on it. It is glass, although I don't think it's probably Oh yeah, you do get some light through it. So I'm definitely going to consider that to be part of that piece, and perhaps this will work into it too. A green vase. Sorry if I got that out of camera. I don't need the contents of this, but I think that looks like another amber colored vase. And a very big plain punch bowl, chip bowl, but it's a very it's heavy, so that definitely is in the running for a solar fountain. So who knows, I can see some blue projects in here. I can see something in the lavender. We have punch bowl, we have a good base. I have other punch bowls anyway, still have these other pieces. I don't know, this is keeping me way busy, so I may have to take a break. And that's what we got so far. I'll let you know how it all goes together. Hi, we're back. It's Doug. Looking at some of my glass pieces here, trying to figure out what to do. I think what I want to do a quick project if I can, but not quite sure if I'm going to make it. I've got some things in the blue and lavender range, mostly there, but I can't quite finish them off with what I have. I thought this lavender piece would work well with that, but yeah, it's just a little not there. But I did have a flower that I made a while back that broke off, got damaged, and I've got a little bit of a problem behind it. The glass egg plate is broken, and the area where I had fastened it to the stake, the post, broke off. So I definitely need to take that off. So I'm going to real quickly break that piece off. I'll be left with the blue plate and this lavender piece, and if it looks like I can separate the two of those, maybe I'll use this lavender piece with this vase somehow. We'll have to see. Anytime you're working with some of your broken glass, you really just have to be careful to have gloves, safety glasses. I don't want to make things worse here. I don't want to cut myself. Usually I've got to look and see where I'm fastened. So it looks like I've got a rim of silicone in here. I believe what I'll do is take a little hammer I've got over a bucket and just tap off these pieces of glass. Not sure I can get that on camera. Not sure I want to get it on camera. When doing this, a lot can go wrong, so just going to have to be cautious and careful. Okay, I've started to remove the remains of the silicone that was still here. It was a pretty strong layer that was still there. We tapped off the broken pieces of the egg plate. I'm not sure whether I can keep this together and clean it up and just put the two of those together, or maybe something in between. So I'm going to take a little time to finish cleaning off the old silicone and clean up this piece that was outside and grungy, and we'll be back. Okay, it looks as though I thought I was videoing this process, and in fact I didn't have the camera on. So what I've done is I've taken my vase, The lavender vase, I put an in-between globe in there. The blue plate and lavender top were just too good to separate. They were cleaned up really nice. So I've built that up with those pieces. It wasn't exactly level, so I have a piece of tape here pulling one end down, and when it dries, I'll fill in any gap that I might have had there. Okay, let's finish this up. We're pretty much there. I let it dry overnight. The tape that I have on it was to hold this more level on the top. It means I don't know. I may have to fill in with some silicone in here, but I don't think so. I guess that worked. It was not sitting particularly level. Even now when I spin it, I can see it's not level. All right, the last step was to put that in the center, and we're done. Okay, and I think that comes up pretty nice as something of a flower. I added, as I told you, I added something in the middle here to kind of space it out a little bit. Gives it separation between the blue plate and the lavender base. And we're good. On to the next project.